Hey, it's Ryan Moody here, helping you to fish smarter, not harder. In this week's blog post, we're going to talk about the wind-on leader system and some of its benefits and actually why we use it. So to start with, the wind-on leader system is basically a way of winding your leader onto your rod without having a swivel jam in the rod tip. So it allows you to use longer lengths of leader around snaggy areas instead of having a swivel and then a short piece of leader this long to your hook or your lure or whatever, trying to throw it normally. And of course you don't want the swivel jamming into your rod tip because it's going to scratch all the ceramics and that of the rod tip, and every time your line runs over it, over that scratched part in your rod tip, it's going to fray your line. So a good wind-on leader system is the one I'm going to show you now, and it's the one I've been using for 30 odd years. It's the Bimini Twist double down to the Albright knot on the leader. There are other knots these days people are using, particularly for tying braid, which is the FG knot, which is a single strand knot down to your leader. It has quite a good breaking strain. It's certainly the best single strand leader knot, and is starting to be widely used by people. But if you don't tie it properly, and it does take quite a long time to tie, if you do not tie it properly, it'll come undone on you, and I've seen that on several charters with people coming out learning to tie those knots. So I'm going to show you now one of the easiest ways that I learnt, and it's how I caught over 2,000 metre plus barra on the same technique. First up, we're going to show you the scary one, the Bimini Twist. Now, it's not that scary once you learn how to tie it properly, and a few little tricks. One of those little tricks is what we do is we keep it tight. When we're tying this knot, we actually stay tight to the rod tip. We're using the rod tip as a third person. You only got two hands, and unfortunately sometimes you need three to actually tie this knot. And this one becomes your third hand holding that main line stiff for you. So, and also, we will show you later on with the Albright knot the reason we stay tight to the rod tip as well. But first, we're going to show you how quickly you can actually tie a Bimini Twist. Then after that, we're going to go into it slower and explain a few of the processes. So, I'm going to tie one first to show you how quick you can actually tie it. I'm actually using quite heavy line here for the demonstration when we come up to a close-up. That's it. Trim the tag and you're done. That's how quick you can actually tie Bimini once you get the hang of it. Now I've just gone and changed into a dark pair of shorts, so you can see the line against it a bit easier, and I'm using fluoro line. I'm using 40 pound, which is a bit bigger than what you'd use in the creeks, but hopefully it'll just show you the knot weaving into itself a bit better when we come up close. So I'm going to run through with it now to start, to finish. So what we do is we allow enough line off the reel to be able to double up your line and have about a metre, I suppose. And then you want it to be able to touch the ground. So that's right about the right spot there now. So from the rod tip is being your third hand. That's what's helping you tie this knot. But it's got to stay tight to the rod tip in order to do so. So what we do now, we've got our metre of loop, or just under, tight to the rod tip and touch our toes. So what we're going to do is twist that up 25 to 30 times. 30 times for 20 pound line. I'm only going to do it about 20 times for this big thick line. Otherwise it'll be too much. Okay, there's all our twists, there's our opening, and then we're going to spread that over our toes so we get the coat hanger effect. There are all your twists there. There's your main line, which is just tight, just firm to your rod tip, and there's our tag there. What we do is give that line a bit of a wet, a bit of saliva, and what we're going to do now is spread your toes, tension that up a bit till they're nice and tight, and then bring this tag here back past 45 and get them to weave into themselves on the same angle. As soon as you get to about 3/4 or halfway, just bring the roll back up this way a little bit, the tag, so you can roll them right next to each other then. So you've got interlinking twists and then barrel rolls at the end. Hold the knot in one place, lock it off by simply half hitch around the right hand side, back to one toe, and then hitch around both, and then a double around both. So you go around, through, then back over the main line again, and then through this way and pull it up towards you. Give it a little wet, then pull it tight, and that's how you finish off the Bimini snip it off down low, and as you can see, the benefits of this knot is that it's a shock absorber. See the knot stretching? You'll never break your main line off here with this double knot. It's a brilliant double knot. So now we're going to talk about how to tie the Albright knot in detail. Okay, we've got our double. Now, our leader, I'm using a 100-pound leader here because I've got slightly thicker line here too. This is 40-pound double. What we do is we grab about a 6-inch piece of loop at the end, pinch it down like that so that we've got about 1 inch of loop coming at the end of your fingers, like so. Then we sit that doubled line, holding tight to the rod tip so that both those strands stay the same length, pinch that under the thumb. Then what I do from there is, I just bring that up over the top, and then I move this hand over the top of there and put my second last finger in that loop to hold it all straight. That's going to allow me to have a good control over the knot when I'm passing this line back up the knot. So now I come back up using your fingers to grab the leader and pass it around to the other 2 fingers. About 10 times normally. I've only done about 8 times with this heavier line. Okay, what we do then is, with monofilament line like we're using here, you come up through the back of that loop and you pull all that tight, just up firm to start with, then give it a wet, and then pull it all tight, pulling the tag 90 degrees in your teeth. If you've got falsies, I don't advise it. So there it is there. Trim the tag off nice and close. Give yourself about a millimetre and a half. This looks a bit bulky, this knot, because remember I'm using big line to show you for the benefit of the video. But 20-pound line and 80, 60-pound leaders, this is a lot smaller, all these knots. So there you go. This is what you'd use out the reef, bottom bouncing for big redfish and stuff. So that is your Albright knot attached with your double by using the Bimini Twist. And the benefit is you can wind on 6 or 8 feet of leader instead of just having a snap swivel tied in your line with a small piece of leader at the end, because you can't cast if it's too long. Now there are many videos and animations on YouTube on how to tie an Albright knot and a Bimini twist. So, but the one thing that they don't tell you is the fact that using that line tight to the rod tip as a third hand for tying both knots. Some people, when they first try and tie a Bimini, they're trying using 2 hands with that tag being slack, and they sit down and they've got line everywhere and they're trying to use their teeth and feet and everything, so it just becomes so difficult. But honestly, by tying it standing up like this, or you can do it in the boat, rod tip, rod holder in the boat, sit on the side, and you can tie it sitting down on the edge of your boat. It's just so much easier. So yeah, practice these knots, wind on your leaders, and get a few more fish to the boat. If you enjoyed this little tip and you'd like to see more, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, or if you want some special tips that I only send out via email, head on over to our website www.ryanmoodyfishing.com and sign up to join our free fishing community. Get into the great outdoors, keep fishing smarter, and I'll see you next time.